Alrighty, we are back. This is video tutorial 11 from the PEAR video tutorial series. PEAR standing for PHP Extension Application Repository. And I am doing this video out of a request, well, not necessarily a request, but a comment made on video tutorial number 6. A viewer commented on why I use WAMP server. I use WAMP server because I have PHP installed on 3 different instances of my system. I have it installed on Expression Web, which you see right here. I have it installed in PHP Designer, which you see right here. And I also have it again installed on WAMP server, which you see right here. And you can see the web interface right here. So this is 3 instances where I have it installed. He also said he was trying to make a query using PEAR, and one thing I can say is that once you start getting used to PEAR, it will become very easy for you to navigate. If you go to the support portion of the website and you go to tutorials and you scroll down here to this tutorial right here, PEAR DB tutorial on phpbuilder.com. This is a great tutorial on connecting to databases. The author goes through the traditional way of using PHP to connect to the database, and then if you go to the next page, he shows you the way of rewriting the code and using the MySQL database. And that's where we'll start. We'll just use his example. I'll just copy his code here in this page and paste it into Expression Web. And let's go ahead and explain what's going on. I can get rid of this because I don't really need that. Let's see. Oh no, I'll take that back. I do need that. Okay, so here it goes. In order to connect to a database, you have to have a connection, and this is the connection right here. So you want to go db connect, which is saying that you're connecting to a database, and the kind of database that you're connecting to is called a MySQL. And then you want to go ahead and use your username, which which in my case would be root. And what you want to do is you want to use a password, and which I don't have a password on my particular database. So and you want to know what server the database is being hosted on. So mine is being hosted on localhost, and the database name is MySQL. Within the database name. So if we go to WAMP server and go to phpMyInfo, here's the database name, which corresponds to this right here. The local host is the server right here, and again the username is root. If you can see down here, my configuration files with no password. My SQL server is running with this default, and it gives you all this other information. But at the end it says the setting is for the user is root. That's the name of that's the username. So and here's a username right here, and then again, since I don't have a password, I just had @localhost. So then then you just do a basic SQL. Then if you know SQL, select from, and then I'm going to select from DB. DB is, if I go into my MySQL, this is the table I'm going to select from is DB, or let's say help underscore keyword. So I'll select help underscore keyword. and then it's doing the I put it in a while loop. So we don't have to do that. We don't have to do the let's take that out for a minute, and let's actually take this out. And if we go ahead and run this, save it and run it, it's not rendering anything because I didn't give it a render. So what I'll do is say if db echo you are connected. Save that, run it. Use of got an error on number 9. Oh, I forgot to put the $sign. Sorry about that. Save. There we go. We're connected. Let me pause this just to make sure I have enough time so that we can just go in and do a query also. Okay, we're back. So in the last part, in the previous, I showed you how to make the database connection, which is again MySQL, which is the kind of database that we're going to be accessing, which it's called your DSN. The root is the username, didn't have a password, localhost is the server, and the database is called MySQL. Well, let's go back to the data grid, structures data grid example. Right here, and this is on the PEAR website. If you go to packages, and if you go to structures data grid, and you go to documentation, and you go to the quick example, they give you everything that you need right here. This is the actual example. So if we go back, I've put my database connection into an array. Here's the array, and here's what's in that array. The data source name, which is what DSN stands for, equals MySQL, which is the kind of database I'm connected to. You can connect to an Oracle database. You can connect to a MS SQL database. My root name, my username is root, no password, server name is localhost, and then the database is MySQL. And if I change this to keyword help underscore keyword, excuse me, which is the table, and if I'm binding it to the data grid. So let's go ahead and save that, and let's go ahead and run it. Boom, there you go. You have the help, the ID is 1, and then the name is John, host, or whatever. So this is how you make a basic connecting to the database, which is root. This is the database connection, and here's how you fetch and bind a SQL statement. We're doing the both. We're doing both the binding and calling the SQL statement both at the same time. So that's for the user, the viewer of the video tutorial number 6. This is how you connect to a database and get a SQL statement. See you in the next video.